It's too early. Hi, once again. Fuck.
This shows your human face.
Yeah,
Fuck.
yeah, human face. Okay. Hi, drummer folks from Poland. I'm Peterem Szendofi, and I'm so glad to be here. I came from Hungary, and I started to play drums like 30-something years before. And I play several different type of music, like funk and fusion and R&B, drum and bass, jazz things for sure. And also I compose tunes. I have several different bands in Hungary, and I also have several kind of international projects with the different special guest artists. I wanted to be, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a painter artist because my grandfather was a painter artist, but then suddenly I saw a drum battle in the Hungarian national television when I was like 14 or 15, and there was a huge impact on me, and I just decided somehow, like, okay, I want to be a drummer. And during a couple of months, my parents thought, like, okay, he's a kid, he will grow up and he will forget about it. But then I started to practice at home with different things, what could be a kind of sticks on a table and you know, anywhere else. And then my mother, who is a great classical piano player, he took me to one of her colleague, who was a great drummer and also a great teacher, and I started to take lessons. That was a kind of classical trained drum lessons, and then I graduated in a classical conservatory, basically. So that was the first steps. I had some crappy drums at home first. But the first and really serious drum set was an old Tama Royal Star from 1981. You know, the first and biggest impact on me was Billy Cobham's playing. Before that time, I used to listen to like Cliff Richard and Beatles and Rolling Stones, and then suddenly I discovered the jazz program on the list of the Hungarian national radio, and they played Mahavishnu recordings from 1984, I think, and I was totally shocked. Like what's that? Is that drumming or who is this guy? And I started to search for the drummer, and I discovered Billy Cobham's name. And then I saw some pictures on the practice room of my first drum teacher, and I realized that he plays Tama drums. That was in 1980. I don't know, 5 or 6. So at that time, the Billy Cobham also used the the same type of Tama star. And I was totally felt in love with that drums, the sound of the drums and everything. And finally, I get the same drum set from my parents as a birthday gift when I turned 20. So I was like the happiest kid in the world, you know, with this beautiful drum set. And actually, I already have this drum set until today on my practice room in Hungary. So I love it, and I did several recording sessions with drum set and live tours and everything. So that's a beautiful drum set. I have at home. I have two Star Classics. Mm-hmm. The first one is a maple. It's 22 by 20 and 10 by 7, 14 by 12 and 16 by 14. And the other one is a Birch Bubinga one, which has 22 by 18 and 10 by 8, 14 by 14, 16 by 16 floor toms. So it's more like a classical drum set. The maple one and the Birch Bubinga one have totally different sound and totally different response. You know, so great drum sets both. I said several times to my friends in Hungary, like there was one of the greatest choice in my musical life so far to switch, you know, to the Tama corporations a couple of years ago. So it's, I'm absolutely happy with this. I had several influences from different drummers, and I actually always wanted to be more and more professional and better, if I can say. But it's, you know, it's not like a sports competition. So I always wanted to make music somehow in this kind of music or that kind of music, you know. So it's difficult to give you an answer like okay, there was a milestone or there was a milestone. I had actually several milestones, you know, when I first checked the vocal stuff. There was totally different way what Billy Cobham follows. So totally different language on the drums, a totally different style and touch and everything on the drum set. Yeah, there was another one. The third one was, I think, Dennis Chambers playing, and then Omar Hakim stuff, and then Vinny for sure. And so, you know, several things, and always when I got an invitation from different projects, which gives me different impressions, different type of music. That type of things turn me always around and around, you know. So it's, I think the level of the drummers and the drum schools and the organizations in Poland has the same level than when I go to the United States or wherever. So I think the differences are only in like Poland has a different type of culture, musical culture, than for example India or for example the United States or China, Japan, you know. So I think as I experienced so far here in Poland, there are a lot of great and talented drummers, and globally the drumming community is absolutely beautiful. So I'm so happy always to be here, honestly. When I'm just at home and I have more time to practice, I usually practice. I mean, 90% of my practice time I spend my practicing time with really simple things and slow tempo things. So I always like to get the perfect control on the drum sets. For me, for my hands, the best warm up is the single stroke rolls. You know, it looks like strange, like singles. You know, everybody can play singles, but for me, the single stroke rolls gives the perfect control on the drum set. And I start to practice at home recently, simple orchestrations on a drum set with singles in slow tempo, like 110 BPM. And if I'm focusing on every tiny little parts of my emotions and the way of the sticks and the touch of the drums and the rebound and everything, that's a big challenge. But then, you know, after 1 hour or 1.5 hours, it gives me a much better control on the drum set always. I also like to practice phlegm things when I had just like 25 minutes before a gig or a clinic, and I just step back to the dressing room with a practice pad. That's also fine, but you know, nothing special. I mean, you know, I think the very complicated things came from here, not from here. So that's why I actually can practice the difficult things in my head when I'm traveling on a plane or train or whatever. I usually try to listen to a totally different kind of music what I'm usually playing. So, for example, if I'm doing a funk fusion album in this month, for example, I would never listen to the same type of music, because if I listen to different type of things, it gets me more and more fresh, you know. So I love to listen to classical music, because the approach of the classical music and the attitude of that kind of music and the concept is totally different. So I used to listen to a lot, and I listen to a lot. For example, the 20th century contemporary classical percussion music, because that kind of percussion chamber music has the same type of instruments like cymbals and drums, big drums and small drums and tom-toms and timpanis and everything, and they can make real music with this kind of effect instruments. So it gives me a lot of impression, like how to create music with acoustic drums without any melodic instruments. This is one thing. There's maybe in these weeks or this month I listen to a lot Virgil Donati's playing. His last two albums are fantastic. So he's a great drummer. I mean, he is a great drummer since 30-40 years. I checked first his stuff when I get to New York to the Drummers Collective as a student. That was in 1995, and his first instructional video just came out in that years, and he also uses this kind of traditional grip on the drum set, just like me, but he follows a totally different way. So he plays with a big power, and he has a perfect control on the drum set. Sound is great. He can play really difficult things. I mean, in difficult odd meters, any kind of weird variations on the drum set. So I really love his stuff, and his last two albums are totally great. But I mean the music, the musicians, the compositions, the concept of that kind of music is totally great. We are all different people. Some guys need only 5 minutes to warm up. Some other guys needs to practice at least 2 hours right before the gig to lose up and warm up the muscles and the fingers and the feet. So get out to the bathroom right before the concert. Otherwise, you will be in a big trouble. I had several times. You drink some coffee and water right before the gig, and then you have to play a 2 hours long show. That's a weird situation. Could be. Sorry.
That's one advice you won't get from a regular drum teacher.
Sziasztok, Szendofi Péter vagyok. Ma este fogok egy nagyszerű dobkurzust tartani itt, remélhetőleg, és gyertek el minél többen. Köszönöm szépen!
How do you pronounce your last name? How do you pronounce?
Szendofi.
Sen, yes, because we were saying
Szendofi, yeah.
In Poland, when you have an SZ, you have sh.
Okay.
And Hungarian, I think, is the other way around.
Yeah.
It's SZ
You know,
with-
it's difficult when I'm in the States. They always fuck up all the times my name like Szendofi or Szendofi or these kind of things. Yeah.
Guys from the States have no idea about
Right.
other languages than their own.
Drummers, right? Drummers. Loud and always loud. Yeah.